Hey guys, and welcome back. To get all of our picks, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. So heading into Thursday's action, we got a matchup here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe not the most exciting matchup if you're a fan of seeing offensive teams going against each other, but certainly both these teams still very alive in the race for their respective divisions and playoff positioning, with the Miami Dolphins standing at 4-2 overall, and the Ravens, for all their issues, are still at a respectable 3-4 overall, which puts them second in the AFC North. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, they're in a little bit tougher of a division over in the AFC East, sitting in a tie for second right now with Buffalo and a half game behind the New England Patriots. Miami having some issues right now with the health at the quarterback position, losing Tannehill obviously, and then bringing in Cutler, and now Cutler's out, and now they're having to go to Matt Moore. And you know, some people might think that the Dolphins potentially could be just as good, or if not better, with Matt Moore as their quarterback as opposed to Jay Cutler, but I'm not sure we buy that, given the fact that Moore had a lot of opportunities to get the job from Jay Cutler, who was brought in once Tannehill went down, and he wasn't able to claim that job from the veteran. You know, Moore, he's a serviceable backup, but not a guy that's likely going to lead a team to a whole lot of success. Then you have the Baltimore Ravens right now with Joe Flacco under center. Flacco hasn't necessarily been doing all that great here for the Ravens, not having a whole lot of success again last week in their loss against the Vikings. But Baltimore, getting that home field advantage today, are going to try to get back on track after losing their last two outings in a row. But the Dolphins, they've actually been picking up some momentum. They've won each of their last 3 games in a row, and the Dolphins have really hinged a lot of their success this season on the defensive side of the ball, given the fact that the Dolphins rank 31st in all of football in scoring average, and that was with Cutler under center, and now they're going to a quarterback that they had even less confidence in than Jay Cutler, as opposed to the defense, which ranks 6th in all of football in total points against, and that's with an offense that hasn't been able to produce a whole lot, which means that the defense is more often than not being put in not the greatest positions and having to spend more time on the field given the struggles that the offense has had. So very strong stuff coming out of the Dolphins defense, and they're going to try to win off of the back of their defense again this week. But the Baltimore Ravens, another team that tries to pride themselves on the defensive side of the ball, not having quite as much success defensively as the Dolphins, but certainly having a bit more offensive success. They rank 23rd in all of the NFL in scoring average and 13th in total defense. Passing has been a major issue for the Ravens, ranking 32nd, dead last in all of the NFL in passing, compared to 12th in rushing average. And you compare that over to the Dolphins, who rank 30th in passing and 29th in rushing. So two offensive units that have certainly had their issues this year. Just by looking purely at these offenses, what they've been able to produce, you would expect both these teams to not be in the greatest position in terms of win-losses, but that hasn't been the case entirely, given the fact that their defenses have been able to counteract some of those deficiencies that we've been seeing out of both the Dolphins and Ravens. So heading into this one, initially when I saw this matchup for Thursday Night Football, I was thinking to myself, this is probably going to be a really low-scoring game. I want to see that over-under, and of course the over-under at quite a low number to compensate for this, just at 37.5 points. That's about as low as it goes here in terms of these NFL regular season matchups with the over-under. Usually typically doesn't get much lower than the high 30s, but even given that both of these teams have been having major issues offensively, Miami's bringing in another quarterback here with Matt Moore, who hasn't had a lot of reps this season, and Baltimore, whose passing game has just been atrocious. And given the fact that both of these teams have respectable defensive units, we feel like this is going to be a defensive-driven game, and as long as there aren't a lot of special teams touchdowns or pick sixes or things like that, probably going to be a lower scoring game. So we're going to go ahead and side with the under here today, taking the under 37.5 points as our Thursday Night Football pick video play. And again, guys, to get all of our NFL picks, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping on in, and we hope to see you in future videos. Bye.